Ball does turn. I decided a change of environment was due. Tired of the person just staring in the back trying to throw hexes. Sometimes you got to do a change up. How's everybody? Happy Monday. Hopefully, you had great services going on Sunday, especially for the ones who paid for it. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, what's up? Tell the practitioner I said, hey, it's no hard. It's no hard feelings. Everybody's got to make their money. Right, right, right. How are we this morning? Hopefully, everybody is blessed. Grand rising to those who subscribe to that. Ni hao. Hello. ¿Cómo esté? ¿Cómo está? How are you? What's going on? What's up? What's up with everybody? Happy Monday. What's going on with you? Hopefully, you got some stretches out. My condolences out to the families who were affected by those little fires that were around the city, especially the ones who had to go and deal with those unruly kids out in Towson. I did want to go out that way, but something told me don't, because the kids lately are definitely pushing the limit right now. I think they're trying to get us to go into some kind of emergency state of something. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Maybe that's the instruction. They want to push us into federal funding, emergency funding, that sort of thing, where the U.S. Marshals have to come out and all that good stuff. We don't want that type of pressure now, do we? Do we really want that type of pressure? So, before it's too late, in case it isn't, um, let's take back a hold of our streets and everything. I mean, things are already as spontaneous as it is, things are already as random as it is. How about we get a little bit of self control back into the situation? There seems to be a very, very huge push and lack of self control. Now, if the adults are lacking self control, as we've seen on this here internet, we have some really, really squirrely adults here that are really just jumping out of they're jumping out of the window every time you turn around. And how do you expect the kids to find some type of regulation if the adults are just as bad and off the hook? They can't wait for the weekend either. Like, school doesn't have to be out for the summer. They're pretty much out here thugging it all year long. And you think the kids are not watching this? They're like, hey, I'm younger. I'm going to show them how to do me a lot worse. So it's like, we really need to come on. I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should. All right. So let's start acting more towards our maturity level, because I see age starts to offend some people. Some people, they don't want to admit that they're a little older. Some people are kind of ashamed that they've aged, I guess, because they haven't done the things that match with the age. But that's no one else's fault. Get a hold of yourself, catch a hold of reality, because the reality is they're doing exactly what they're seeing. So if you're not showing anything worth being seen, I'm gonna need you to take a hard look at. Oh, you see the finger? Self. Nobody cares about whatever you're typing. Shut up. We're here because I have a platform to speak with you on, and I am doing so in such a way that provides guidance and positive redirection for those of us who feel as though we may have gotten out of order. Okay, let's just do that. So let's start with Psalms 58. I do have my scarf. I love this Ed Hardy scarf. I remember when, I mean, people were Ed Hardying it to death. Every grown man above the age of 50 decided that they wanted to go all tattooed out because Ed Hardy was the inspiration, right? But let's just do this. Um, we get it. You're hip. You managed to cross on the other side of the equator. with a little bit of looks left on you. But the thing about it is, it was about your brain. And if you did nothing to retain any intelligence, any emotional intelligence, if you did nothing that makes your story worth telling, then I'm going to need you to take a hard seat on the bench, okay? Because all you've shown people was your ability to just look good doing a bunch of bullshit. So, yeah, that story shouldn't be repeated too much. It's kind of embarrassing. You're a beautiful lame. All right, let's not do this. Okay, so Ed Hardy, inspiration. At least he did a little something with himself. You know what I'm saying? I love this. I love it. Do ye indeed speak righteousness? O congregation, do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, they are like the deaf otter that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth, break out their great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a God that judgeth in the earth. Amen, amen, amen. Selah, so be it, so let it be. And indeed, this is basically just weighing out. You shall convict yourselves by your own motion and your own words. By your own hand shall you be weighed, okay? So if you have blood guiltiness, there it is. There it is. There it is. You shall find conviction in your own motion. Those are the works that you did bother with. Because you did not bother with the work that my father did hand you, you took up the devices that you wanted to take up. Do not be alarmed when he seeks vengeance, because vengeance is his, saith the Lord. All right. All right. You're not beefing with your neighbor. You're beefing with the principalities about the thing. All right. You're not doing it. So please remember, sometimes we get a little up in arms, myself indeed. Sometimes we take it a little personal when we realize that we're around people who have nothing else to focus on. We have people who have nothing else to reach out for. So the little bit that they figure that you may have, even if it's just a bit of peace, they're going to reach out for that because that is more tangible than whatever they've imagined in their minds. Okay. So don't take it all personal, but do protect yourself and use discernment. Some people don't need a reason, for the reason has already been their life, and their life is the example of why they are lashing out at others. Okay, some people hate to see other people happy in the proximity, because how dare you be happy in this basin of misery that I have created? And then here you come skipping along. Hit the D, hit the D. They're like, what the hell? We've created the perfect toxic environment. And then you got a nerve to skip through here. You know what? It's as if I'm Little Red Riding Hood and they fancy themselves the wolves. However, gentrification has happened, and they've cut down the trees, and Little Red Riding Hood gets to get a shop or two. And we're in civilization, however. We're in the city. All right. So eventually, Little Red Riding Hood learns to get pepper spray and all the likes of those, because these wolves, they have no natural instinct. They're wolves. They don't know that when the moon comes out, they'll play, and then she'll find them in the woods. Know how that story ends. So see that the human learns to hunt as a necessity because it has been called for. No, no, no. If animals can evolve, then humans can evolve. And certainly Little Red Riding Hood can evolve, especially since she's learned about these teeth and grandma such a very, very far, 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 far distance away. Woo! All right, all right, all right. So, good morning. And I haven't said happy birthday, congratulations, and condolences in a while. So, I'll say that. I'll take a moment to say that. Good morning. Happy birthday to those who are having a birthday. Congratulations to those who are having celebrations, engagements, proms, all those good events that are coming up. Even for those who are getting christened. God bless you. Also, I think you guys just did communion. Good. Go with God. Don't just do the motions, actually do all the work that comes with it. If you say about that life, be about that life. Stop going into there, claiming Jesus and crying and making a fool of yourself at that pulpit. And then you're going to go out and sleep with Mr. Ted, okay? You're going to sleep with that old widower because he has a daggone social security check and you got a few bills, all right? That's not okay, all right? It's also not okay to talk about Sister Odessa because she got cankles in her heels. That's her problem. You don't know she been eating pig feet or a little bit of extra salt. Leave Sister Odessa alone before she take that cast iron pot and slap you because you don't know what Sister Odessa go through all the time. And she tired of you young hoes coming to church trying to stare at the pastor. She really tired of that, especially because pastor can't get no food from y'all. He want her at the church every weekend cooking for 4 and 5 hours because he say she got the elbows. That's trifling. Y'all need to do something else besides sit in the daggone pew and wind up your tails because you waiting to be seen next. This is what I be talking about. And then, yes, you old ninjas in the pew, y'all sit there and y'all like Pastor because Pastor bring all the new fresh meat to the church. And then y'all can sit there and act all holier than thou and sneak all up onto them young girls because y'all tired of y'all sister Odessa and Kathleen's and Catherine's. See how that plays out? We sick of y'all using the church house as an innocent cover as y'all go in and y'all hunt. And it's not just the church house, but a lot of people need to know that when you sit in that church house, you're just as a lamb being led to the slaughter because a lot of them guys in there and a lot of them women in there then became wolves a long time ago through trial and error. And they go to the church house, and some of them used to go to get restored. But after a while, they just became stuck in the motions and they started just doing the motions and they got used to it and then they fell back same into the traps because they let the church house rock them to sleep and they forgot that not only are you going through the motions, you need to come up out and you need to actually practice what you be preaching in that Bible. But we ain't gonna say nothing. They just getting up every Sunday on time and they showing up like you supposed to see them. But is their heart the same? Are their hearts changed? What are the pathways that they're taking? You see, everybody sitting there bowing their head across from you ain't doing the same prayer, ain't praying to the same God. It ain't the same method. So don't take somebody's uniform, somebody's dress, or somebody's motions for what it is. A picture is worth 1,000 words, but words are words, aren't they? Okay. So I've got my pink tarot down here. Yes, I do. And I got my coffee. I got a bold and nutty one right now. I forgot which one this one is. Hold up. This one is house blend. Something I rarely get. I was so tired of the flavor. Sometimes, You got to stop taking shortcuts. You got to stop looking for the thing that appears the most fluffiest. Sometimes you really, hey, sometimes you really just got to go on and be grown with it. You got to take it without the fluff, without the sugar. You got to take it with a grain of salt sometimes, because if every time you're doing it for the flavor and the taste, every time you're doing it just to look good, you're doing it for the aesthetic. What are you doing it for? What is your purpose? What is your real purpose? Dang, that's a good cup of coffee. Actually, by the cadence of my voice and the fact that I kept my environment in such a way, I believe that this today is definitely one of the best ASMR episodes ever, due to the way my voice is very, very low. I feel as though this is a great environment. All right. So let's do this for a couple of days. I like this. So I've got Pink Tarot, and we're going to get started now. Happy Monday. Happy birthday. Congratulations. And my condolences if you have lost anyone. Peace be with you. And my prayers for your comfort. All right. But for the others, have the day that you deserve. And I mean it. I mean it. Okay. So yesterday we did Taurus. We started off in Taurus. So we're going to go and figure out where we're going with it. All right. All right. All right. Today I'd like to start in Leo. I'd like to start in Leo today. Leo is August. Leo is also before the Virgo, and they both share August. Who else shares Leo is July. The ending of July, it begins in Cancer and it ends in July. So Leo season starts about, I'm going to say July the 22nd. Correct me if I'm wrong. The cuspers strong between the 21st and the 24th. So the July the 22nd is when Leo starts, and it's all the way until August the 20th or the 21st, I'm going to believe. I think that is the correct timing, as each month holds two signs, right? Each month is split between the two signs. This is how we have 12 zodiacs, okay? No, hold up. Is it? Yeah. Seasonal and cardinal. So this is why we should always look at cardinal as well. Because I don't know why I just mentioned that, but cardinal is a reason. There's a reason for cardinal. So if anyone is good with directions and maps, look up cardinal. I didn't do that research. I just actually asked myself that question. Cardinal is important. Just like the bird. A bird is a cardinal. I saw a cardinal the other day. I saw a cardinal Friday. Friday was staff development day. I don't know. It was staff development day, and I saw a cardinal. I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but it seems like it's important to mention. So the staff development. Staff development. That's another one of those programs that costs for money, right? Staff development. And I've noticed over the last few years, we've had a lot more staff development days. Now, in one part, I'm very much in agreement with the fact that some of the staff needs some time to do more as far as the syllabus and the things are concerned. However, I am concerned about the fact that we've been putting more money into the educational system, but we've actually exacted more idiots than not. We have more illiteracy, more not understanding, non-comprehension. We have more criminals coming out of schools than anything. And I'm trying to figure out, what the hell are we paying for? Are we paying for them to just be passed? What's going on? Because they don't really have anywhere to go and hang out at. What is the money going into? If not just the parents being happy, the fact that they no longer have the stretch marks and they no longer have show the damage from having all these badass kids. I don't know what made me make mention of it. The high priestess. So maybe that is it. She popped straight out. Oh God. So, high priestess jumped straight out the minute I say something about that. So, the high priestess wants to say intuition, sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine, feminine, trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. Okay. So, basically, it's about me running my mouth right now about what's going on with us having these kids. And then everybody wants to go and get a BBL and get their stomach tight and want to look young and want to look as though they don't have any kids. Well, the kids looking at that and they're like, oh, what the hell you want to look like you don't have any kids for? When indeed you have kids. No, indeed, you don't want to look like you have any kids because you indeed want to be out here acting like a kid and showing your ass like a kid, and you don't want responsibilities like a kid. You want to dress like the kids. So of course you don't want to look like you have any kids, and you're trying to be up, and you're upset that the kids are upset at you because you haven't established any difference from the kids. Now, I know I have this problem with kids when I go out because I don't look old. I usually have to do something a little oldish so that they can realize that there's a distinguish between me. I ain't here for none of the little boys. I'm not here to fight with you, little girl. I don't want to be your mom. I don't want to be any dang on thing. I don't even want to be your auntie because y'all be trying to sleep with your auntie's boyfriends too. And if that's the case, I don't want to be your damn auntie too. I just want to be left the hell alone. And this is the problem. We have too many of us older people not willing to look young and act our age. No, we want to look young and be young and act young and do young shit. And young shit includes not paying bills and have sex all out our panty drawers as a way to communicate, as opposed to sitting down and getting this thing right. In the words of Lattimore, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If anybody know about Lattimore, we need to all sit down and talk about it because it's time. All right. Hey. Lattimore was something else, but the thing about it is we ain't talking about nothing no more. We fighting about it, we beefing about it, we going over social media about it, we cheating about it, we doing everything about it, but talking about it. And we not having to talk the talk. We having to talk to show who's smarter, who's got more words, who's got more breath, who's got more endurance, who's got more power, who's got more this, who's got more that. Let's talk about it. Where's the reasoning in this season? We don't have much of that now, do we? It's hard to reason with a person younger than you when you're doing things just as young as they are. They're like, what? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. How can I take advice from an idiot? A person that carries themselves like an idiot. A person who covers themselves in their age, yet their age can be found in none of their decisions. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And let's talk about the older ones who cover their decisions by just constantly complaining about others' decisions, not realizing that their decisions are not all that close. Because if anybody should ever do a real check, a real background check, and actually ask the real questions that everybody keeps getting distracted from, you'll find out that we ain't talked about it in quite some time. And if we have talked about it, we've talked about it in a way to where they have gone and cloaked and decided, hey, this is too much for me. You're giving me palpitations. not giving you palpitations, well, how about the palpitations that came for your inaction? How about the palpitation that came from you wanting to run your mouth and tell everybody's business but your own? How about it? How about the fact that you're not telling the truth about how you got the bills paid, yet you want to be all up in people's business talking about who that? Hmm? Let's talk about it. You don't want to talk about it, huh? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to know that someone was deciding that they was going to pawn off your history as their cloak because their history was not recorded. However, there were people there. There were people there. They were human and they have memories too. You can't. Some people ain't drinking away. Some people ain't drinking away. Some people ain't going run to the hard drugs. Some people, y'all decided to torture. Y'all decided to call them crazy. You decided that you didn't want nobody near them because they would find out what you did in your younger years, because you decided to find the bench before anybody found out, because you saw social media was exposing people. So what you did was you hurried up and you grabbed a life that seemed like it would cover your mistakes. The biggest lesson I learned when I started working for the government, when I worked for the government for over 20 years, was CYA. That's how you learn to write. That's how you learn to do documentation. Cover your ass. Yes. However, that was based on an indoctrination that meant that you had to cover your. Why would you need your cover if you wasn't out there acting a whole entire donkey? It's because it's a leverage system. See, when you start having to write things and you start having to finagle your way around your words and around the past actions and start having to strategically and surgically remove the truth and replace them with small intricacies, now you got to cover your ass. So that means you're out of alignment. That means you can't be seen. You can't be exposed, because if somebody should come up and randomly ask you and you don't remember that you covered your ass, then your ass ain't covered. Now is it? Remember that. Remember that. Cover your ass is smart. That means write down what happened at the time in truth, right? That's what I used to think. The same person who taught me cover your ass didn't realize that they was showing me how to document everything that they were doing. So did you cover your ass? They also told me use a black and a blue pen. They also told me make sure you write it down and you write the note. You write it with the date right then and there, because when you got somebody who play games with documentation all the time, documentation might help you. Woo! The very person who was building a case on me actually gave me the case on them. Hallelujah. If you stay quiet long enough, if you don't get froggy, sometimes you ain't got to jump. So they ain't getting no frog legs from over here. Okay, pew pew la pew, pappy la pew. I do. I don't. And your shit stink. So here we go, Leo. Here we go. So the high priestess is out here and we getting them together because we covering our ass, right? This documentation is everything. And 27 is out here, which is 9, which is the divine. So I definitely got somebody who's trying to divine against me, and that's all right. That's all right. Right now, I got that person on the run because I got a page of pentacles, which means I got a fresh perspective and I'm out here with it, all right? Here we go. Here we go. Leo, 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 which is 8. Then we got the Cancer. The Cancer energy is the Chariot. That's movement, progress, action, integration, determination, willpower, direction, and control, departure, and courage. All right. So we got the 2, which is the High Priestess. Then we got the 7, which is the Chariot. Then we got the Page of Pentacles. Hey, how you doing, babe? Manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, diligence. Okay, Leo, big cat. There you go, big cat. There you go, big cat. Here we go. We got a 9 in divine, and here we are. We're praying. We got them on the ropes, all right? We got them on the ropes because here's the thing. Documentation is everything. And you keep seeing the documentation. You see how they redacted the files. You see how they hit it with Epstein. You see how they hit it with Diddy. They see how it's going down, right? And I told you that Chicago was the sister city to Baltimore. So you have to understand, if you're seeing all that shit happening over in the Chicago, that is happening over in Baltimore, and it's going to happen a few other places like New Orleans. A lot of these places that are like portals for the amount of negativity that are coming out of the youth. It's the youth. The youth have been twisted up. They've been twisted up by the elders that they have been unfortunately able to see in such a light. See, without having the conversations, the youth have looked at them and they studied them without having the conversations, because from a young time, they came up and they had a lot of elders say, stay in a child's place. They like them to be seen and not heard. So a lot of the youth sat across the street from us saying, oh, they don't want to talk to us. They ain't got it. They're going to talk at us. Not knowing that there might have been a few adults that would have took them under their wing and actually talked them out of the things that they actually got up in. So here the thing is, when they got into this indoctrination, they felt like all of us was the same. Oh, they don't want to hear us. They don't want to hear us. So the kids sat there and they watched us, and they watched us slip. They watched us drink. They watched us smoke. They watched us get dressed. They watched the little open air markets in front of them. A lot of them actually had to go with their parents while their parents did a bunch of the stuff with them. You understand? So a lot of the kids sat and they watched. They didn't have the conversations with the adults. They watched and they said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to skip this. I'm going to skip that. And they never had the conversation because they gathered in their own heads without having a conversation, because at some point they came across some adult that made them feel as though they couldn't have conversations with certain people. And even if did have conversations with certain people, it was like they weren't hearing what they wanted to hear. A lot of them didn't even want to even deal with it. They felt as though that they saw the struggle in a way that they could understand, not even understanding that the struggle, because there were too many adults around who made the struggle look confusing. There were too many people around who were struggling and smiling about the shit. It was too many people who were getting up every day to go and do not a goddamn thing. And that's very confusing for a child that do not understand, who's being told to get up and go to school and keep this routine every day. Yet they get to see a bunch of adults not keep not one damn routine at all, yet they're receiving money. So when you have a bunch of kids sitting there watching this happen actively for the last damn 30 years, where you have adults who have scheduled their life around doing not one thing productive, not going to go pay no bills, not sweeping off the porch, not going to the garden, not going to the damn market. No, you going to the damn corner store and the bar 20 times. Yes, you spent 8 times. You went to the bar 8 times that day, but not one time have you been to the library. Have you read a book? Have you painted anything? Did you garden? None of that stuff, right? You showed these kids how to actively not do shit but receive money. Now you want to know why they want to skip the struggle. They want to skip this. They want to skip that. They just want the money, and they want to sit down and get high all day too. You want to know why? Is because we can see one of you orangutans. We can see one of you backwards giraffes in the middle of the street sitting on the double lines linked over, because you're planned on being like that, because you put more effort into not doing nothing than doing something and showing these kids. But then you get disrespectful and disrespected when these kids bumping you out the way and don't want no conversation with you. But what have you done? What have you shown? What do you earn? You earned no respect. All you did was talk about it. Talking about, I come from the era of Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin would never. Shaka Khan is what? She said, honey, I ain't got time for y'all. All y'all got is BBLs. These BBLs killing y'all. And your thighs don't match. I got to keep walking off because the simple fact, y'all is not paying attention. These kids watched in confusion as people went this way, that way, and every way. I remember the first time I went down Lexington Market on a Saturday and I watched people partying amongst the demons. I mean, crying, praying, and I'm trying to figure out, are they unhappy? Are they happy? What the hell is going on? They got all this movement, but ain't nobody been to work. They got all this movement. They up first thing 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, but nobody got a 401k. Nobody doing no health. All the grass not cut, nothing clean. We used to have people get high and clean. Where the hell are they at? With the bleach and the toothbrushes. They used to at least keep the steps clean. We is in nothing but filth. Y'all ain't even functioning junkies no damn talking about some damn respect. I don't like it when I see y'all out with y'all kids on the way to the daggone methadone clinic. Who the fuck decides that happens? Who pushed that baby out and said, "Oh, you can go to the you can go with grandma when she go get her meth"? That baby ain't got no business hanging around them people, nor with that grandmother. And I'm sick of the fact that there are a lot of grandparents who are out here exhibiting these behaviors in front of kids like it's okay. Y'all done made that stuff so normal. I look crazy to the kids. They're like, well, where the hell she fit at? She ain't one of us. She ain't one of them. What the fuck is going on with her? I'm unnormal. Something wrong with me. What the hell? She make enough kids to babysit each other? What the fuck is wrong with her? She ain't getting her? What the fuck is wrong with her? You mean to tell me she tired? She ain't leaning? What the hell? I ain't never seen no shit like that. You mean to tell me in her spare time, she actually tried to read something that wasn't assigned? Wow. This is the stuff we supposed to been doing. Remember, I don't know. Excuse me. They did used to tell a small little story before they would tell us slavery. Here's the thing. I remember in social studies. I remember the last time I remember hating social studies when I went to Edmondson. When I went to Edmondson, I hated social studies. The reason why is because we always got to a point where he was talking about slavery. And I asked him, I said, so if we in 1990 something, if we in 1990 something, and my ancestors, the ones that I know that's up here on this earth with me right now, they ain't never been through slavery, why do I keep getting browbeat with the slavery line? I get it. When y'all came up over there, everybody was over there praying and slaying and doing their own thing. They had their kids, they had their huts. Everybody was doing things that they needed to do by necessity, by the moon, by the sun, by the stars. Y'all pulled up with your clock, your schedules, and your guns and all this daggone stuff. And now all of a sudden, we pushed into what y'all want us to do, opposed to what the hell was naturally occurring without y'all playing with it, okay? Because the shit wasn't broken. Y'all rolled up and broke some shit up, right? Because y'all decided that you didn't want to see nobody resting because y'all had to do your own work and y'all wanted somebody else to come and do the work that can sit in the sun longer. Boom. So here we go here. We here now. We are desperately trying to return back to the usefulness that we used to be for us before y'all decided that y'all was gonna use us. Because y'all decided that y'all wasn't strong enough to use y'all, right? So I decided that I didn't want to hear from that point. I need to hear from the point from where I am. That's when I decided social studies was like a lost thing for me, because eventually I was going to end up having to teach this class for my own standpoint point. And at the point I was young and they was going to put me out of the class. So there was that boom. There was that boom. And I think I was really only like 15 or 16 when I decided that certain things wasn't for me because we was going to go word for word. However, I did have a 95.9 average in computer sciences. I could take apart a modem and solder and everything else. At that age, Emerson West Side, I remember. So I remember at that point, I started picking and choosing what I would allow a person to teach me because if I allowed you to teach me in the wrong way the first time, I would miss my mark. So I would just shut down. If you teaching me something that I know ain't gonna be good for me in a few years, and I done already broke it down in a few years ago, we not gonna do no sequels, okay? I don't do them. I'm not about to watch the new Michael movie. Blessings to Michael and everyone who enjoys it. Certain things I won't allow you to interject in me if I know they wasn't even good for you. I'm just not. And I'm very good at watching for the results. I know what I'm looking for. So yeah, that was in Leo. That's what's going on with that. So keep your intuition sharp. Know that things are coming down the pipeline. Keep your nose clean and cover your ass. Cover your ass because some people have not covered their ass. They got a little sloppy because they got used to it. They got comfortable with getting away with the petty shit, not realizing that this generation that came down, not only were they watching us, but there was another layer of that happening who were coming up. There were the inventors who figured out that they needed to be able to take account for these things. Now, I don't believe Meta had the intention of doing such a thing, right? But however, God uses anything and anybody. So what could be used for bad could definitely be used for good. So these double-edged swords keep coming out. I'm trying to tell you, these BBLs killing y'all, and the thighs don't match. So at the same time that the BBL was supposed to get you more likes and was supposed to give you a softer life, at the same time, simultaneously, it does not because it is being used as a weapon against you. Now that you have the goddamn thing, now he's going to tell you your ass fake any fucking way. And you gave him the goddamn courage to do it because you went and did this shit. You shouldn't have never did it. When he decided that you wasn't enough for him, you should have went on with somebody else who really, really damn liked you. But you went on and you fell for it. Now you got to take pills and now you've got to actually get maintenance, just like the pipes out in the street. You've got to be maintenance. You're on a maintenance schedule now. Just like the toilet in your bathroom, just like the washing machine and the appliances. You've now put a damn appliance on your body that your man can accept or not accept whenever he feel like. So you should have liked yourself more, okay? And this is what I'm telling you about that. Now, also with that, you're not going to live a softer life after a while, especially with the chemicals and especially with the maintenance. And I can't see me getting a second job just to pay for body maintenance, especially if you can't find the high value man that you thought you were going to lure into this situation. Most high value men it don't have nothing to do with what you look like, have nothing to do with what you have nothing to do. A high value man probably don't even have money sometimes. Sometimes he does have money. The high value in him is his heart and his mind, and do they match at any given time? Right? So that's the first layer of that. And the value is the value that you put in that man and the value that that man puts in himself and vice versa, because it's called self-esteem. And it's called your values and it's called your morals. So if you don't have anybody that aligns with that, or if you can't align with that yourself, see, a person can be perfectly fine side by side to you, but are you willing to walk away if you find out that there is a deal breaker there? And are you willing to be amicable about it? Are you willing to be still friends if you guys just, okay, toodaloo. See you at the top. I mean, that was great. It was a great experience. You're not that bad of a person, but you know what? This isn't going to work out. Those conversations need to be had more often because Why can't we be friends? Why can't we walk past each other and still be human beings? Who told us that we can't return back to the universe unscathed and unbroken? Who told us that we had to break every bone in every relationship so that nobody returns back? Like, I'm okay with waving across the street at somebody I no longer want to be with. And I'm glad if they find somebody. Like, I really hope that my ex-husband finds a woman that has money for very selfish reasons, of course. But I'm hoping that he gets someone that he could find peace and love with and some kind of balance. I wish that for everybody because, hey, if you find somebody, you could leave me the hell alone and I have more possibility of finding the person for me because everybody's kind of matched up, Sort of like goldfish. Don't know, don't care. But, all in another day. All I know is that we're put on this earth to get along, to figure out how to love one another and not so much hate. We don't have to kumbaya. I don't want to come over your house. I don't want to share my sugar. You understand? I just want to be able to walk past you and know that my existence isn't effing up your whole universe, even though I'm not even a part of your life. So yeah, shout out to the world's vibrational stabilizers, the ones who are here to just keep it real with everybody's like, hey, you're cool, you're not, I don't know what's up with you, but it's all right. I guess they call us, what do they call us? Hippies. They call us hippies. Oh, it's because we don't agree nor disagree, but we know that we're not part of that shit. So why make you uncomfortable? You've already made us uncomfortable. You understand? We just trying to stay out of the way. We learned that being part of the 95 is quite uncomfortable. We also, being part of the other percentage, is quite uncomfortable. Being part of the one is kind of fun because you can jump in where you want and have a ton of fun. So, yes, we feel things, we know things, but you guys try to make us feel weird for it. So, don't be upset when we push back and you feel like an asshole for coming at our weirdness. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. If it weren't for us, we would not have pushed you into creating that thing because you hated us so much. You didn't want us to be the only ones different. So you went in and you started tinkering, okay? So if it wasn't for us, maybe you wouldn't have come up with that book because you didn't want anybody to be cool and different by themselves. So great. I'm glad you came across a hippie. You wouldn't have never tried those colors together because you're a square, right? And nobody's really attracted to you, but you saw the hippie. So you decided to try that little color palette. And now the dudes are looking your way. But had you not come across that hippie, you'd have no flavor, you'd have no funk. I say God blessed us with Erica Badu, right? Because up until then we were going to get a lot of goddamn divas who did not know how to color out of the line. And it's the ones who color out of the line that make this world so great. Isn't it wonderful to be alive? It's great to be alive today. So let's go on with the two cards for each one going down. So Queen of Swords, Hierophant, that's Taurus and Libra and Virgo. Hey, how about it? We're in Virgo right now. And that's the Queen of Swords, unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, perceptive. And then we've got the Hierophant group, which is Taurus, that's Virgo, Libra, and Taurus, and we are in the Virgos reading right now. So someone is starting to realize that they have to proceed through the instructions the way that they are written. You cannot no longer cut any corners. You're going to have to do as the Romans do. And hey, you're not the lead Roman, so sometimes you got to get back in your lane, all right? And this is a 5, which means this is mega changes. This is the only number that came out in the two cards. And just the its and giggles, because I said I wanted to do two cards. I always do 3. I don't know why. The 10, the wish fulfillment is coming. So everybody's wish fulfillment, everybody is basically going back to the basics. We need a reset, honestly. If we go back to the mission that was supposed to be in the beginning, we will understand Martin Luther King did have a dream, and it is actually becoming fruition. People are being less physically violent and they're getting more spiritually violent. I don't think this is the dream he asked for, but this is the dream that he's getting. Hello. This is the dream that he's getting. Divine love, harmony, bliss, relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family, contentment, total love and support. And that's a Pisces. So we got Virgo, Libra, Taurus, and Pisces in this Virgo reading. This is the end to a very tumultuous situation that was going on. We are heading for a reset. Be easy. Keep your hands in the inside of the ride as we continue. We do not need any dismembered limbs. Things will get a little bit crazy before they get better. They're rounding up. I know you hear the helicopters and I know you've been hearing the sirens. I heard a lot of sirens this morning for a long time, for about 5 minutes, a 5 minute. So there's a big drawn out emergency thing happening behind the scenes right now. Keep calm. Keep your things in order. Keep your documentation. Keep your receipts. When you buy things, keep the receipts for at least 5 to 10 years. I'm talking physical receipts. Everybody keeps talking about this email, but if a person really wants to erase your evidence, they'll do some stuff to your phone to where you have to start over and you will lose data. You will lose everything and you will not be able to prove anything. So please don't just wish and hope on these electronics. There's still a thing called paper. There's still a thing called copies, Xeroxes, documentation. Keep those things for 5 to 7 years. This is not about business. This is about your business. All right. That's that for that. Okay. So now we're going to go over to Libra. Whoa, we did Virgo and Libra. Okay. So the Hangman is coming out, and then we got the King of Swords, and that is, woo. The Hangman was the trine. So the King of Swords is Taurus and Gemini, and then we've got the Death that came out. So we've got the 12 and 13. That's 25. That is 7. That is a complete cycle. And that is trine, Taurus, Gemini, and Scorpio. This is the end of something. Pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things different than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, release, head over heart, discipline, truthful, honest, mental clarity, authority, endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, end of cycle. All right, so someone is letting go. There is a big split that is happening. There is a death to a relationship. There is a death to a connection. There is a death. There is someone that has been sacrificed, have been let go, not sacrificed as in gone down to the ground, sacrificed as in let go, returned into the universe. There is no longer a need for that connection because that connection is not taking anyone any further than what they need to go. Take what resonates. There's a trine sign, which means that there's a 120-degree inside there. There is a triple, either there was a triple earth, a triple water, or a triple air involved in this. Take what resonates. Taurus, we have Scorpio, and we have Gemini. There is a trine involved. Taurus is earth. Gemini is air. Scorpio is water. There is a trine sign involved. There might be 1 or 2 trine signs, but a trine sign is a 120-degree. Look it up if you'd like. Trine is Trine. It is a 120-degree planetary alignment. Be well in your research. Right. So, like I was saying, with the 12 and the 13, that is 25, and that is the change, and that is the change. 25, and that goes to 7, which means that's a complete cycle. 6-day complete, 7-day of rest, complete cycle. Okay, so like I said, this is the Hangman, King of Swords, death. There is a death to a connection. There is a complete sacrifice of one's connection. In order for someone to move forward, they have to completely be severed. Up, and then I have obsession at the bottom of the deck. So someone is definitely fixated. And Nothing to say. Somebody had to go. In order for people to go forward, some people have to be let go. And that is the way that it is. Some companies can't go forward if they continue to carry certain employees. Some businesses can't go forward if they're going to take too many liabilities. Once a person becomes a liability in your life, you have to then make the sacrifice and let them go. It does not matter the relationship, it does not matter the history, it does not matter what the ups were, as long as there were too much downs. Once a person becomes a liability in your life, that is indeed the time to do the reevaluation and allow for those people to go. You don't want to regret because you held on to something too long. Okay, I'll repeat, you will regret holding on to things that you've had for too long that should not be. So definitely be prepared to make sacrifices. Be prepared to have to turn around. Be prepared to people try to guilt trip you and attach emotional cords to you after the fact. See, people were okay with the decisions that they made going forward, and they have to be okay with the decisions that you make after that. And that's the way that it has to be. A liability is just that, a liability, something that can potentially take you down, you and all of your work. So be aware and be able to point out a liability. Be aware to be able to not only point out, but proceed with action and diligence when you address a liability. Okay. Liability isn't just about cars. Okay. Liability is about the risk that you're taking when you take on a person, when you keep a person on, when you keep a person around. Should that person be around me? Should that person have my number? Should that person have my information? Can I sleep with that person under the same roof with me? You understand? Things of that nature. And sometimes you even have to have a lot of foresight down the line. What will they do? If they were willing to do that in the past, are they willing to do that again? What is the position? A lot of times you don't want to try to put in your head trying to figure out why would a person do it. What you need to know is that person would do it. So that is the best time to get yourself out of that situation and realize that person is no longer a person you love, care for, respect, or can be around. That person is now a liability. All right? Place them on the other side and continue. Go forward. Order in the cart. How y'all doing, neighbors? Scorpio, let's go. Oops. Let me do some shuffling because I didn't like how that popped right back out. Everybody hanging? Everybody hanging? We ain't lynching. Everybody ain't hanging, but they hanging themselves, and I don't want to see it. Such a damsel. Why does devil and the moon keep showing up? Somebody is really fixated. They're frustrated. They can't take their eyes away. It's somebody that can't believe what's happening. They've gotten so accustomed or so used to or so entitled. It's somebody who really can't really wrap their head around what's going on. They can't, it's not absorbing. Like they can't get it. It's something. It's like eating a hot dog, for the ones who know, eating a hot dog after 8 o'clock and then going and lay down. It's just sitting on the chest. Somebody, anybody, somebody. Diamonds in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Ooh, hey. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Ooh. So somebody's going to go ride it out. Somebody want to take a long ride. Somebody takes night rides. Somebody like to listen to that good stuff. When they contemplating, the hangman came out again. So somebody definitely stuck. Oh yeah. Somebody smooth too. They got a little grit to them, but they smooth. All right, I feel you, player. Hey, yeah. Shit get to you, but it's all right. I get that. I like that. Yeah. It's gonna get to you sometimes, especially when you can open your eyes and you see the truth. But if you could get a little groove and you could, you know what I'm saying, get a little ride and get a little egg, catch a little sun, catch a little moon, it'll be okay. It ain't that deep, but it is. I get you. I feel you. Ooh, hey, I like that. So somebody knows how to reset themselves. Somebody knows how to take the music and put it into them and restore. All right, here you go, sunshine. So we got the hangman, which means that we got a trine out here. We definitely still got a trine out here. We got trine energy, the pause and the surrender, the sacrifice, and all the release. But we've got the king of swords here. Now we got this Taurus and this Gemini coming again. So it means to tell me that there are signs going against each other. They're like somebody's like knowing about how gathering signs. They're trying to confuse the planetary alignment. But God bless the child that's got his own, because Nyx is out here, and this is my own personal card. So someone is definitely in counsel with God. Someone is definitely getting their mind right. Somebody's getting their mind right. Okay, all right, King. Okay, divine masculine. I see where you're going at with it. You cleaning up. You sweeping around your porch a little bit. You doing all the shadow work that you might need to do. But really, is it you doing the shadow work for you, or you doing the shadow work so you can get at somebody? What it is? What it is? What the business is? What it do? All right, huh? What it is? So there is a king of swords that actually is getting into alignment. He's getting his own. He's making sure he's got his own place. He's got his own car. He's got everything right. He's trying to make sure that he's getting everything in his name. He might be having a little problem with that, but he's trying to get his finances together. So shout out to you, King. Shout out to you. I'm not mad at any effort at all. But are you doing the effort for you, or are you doing the effort so that you can align with somebody so that you can get up in their thing? Is this consistent? That's the question that I'm asking. Is this consistent? There's a Scorpio energy, sun, moon, rising, Scorpio, trine sign, water sign, air sign, or earth sign that is trying to get themselves into alignment. But are they getting themselves into alignment for entertainment purposes, or are they getting themselves into alignment because this is how they plan on being? Now you have to realize that some people, they see a young lady over there, or they see a young man over there, and they say, you know what I got to do to get with that person? And then they do it long enough to get with that person, and then when they get with that person, they become exactly who they are in the beginning. See, they get too comfortable and they get complacent. So we need to know, is this you? Is this really you? Or are you playing a game? Are you going to cosplay this healing journey, or are you coming to make me bleed out? Because you know the best way inside is the Trojan horse. So who are you? I'd like to know before I let you in. These are the questions. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Scorpio, we need to know what's going on. So somebody's very passionate. They coming in, they trying to reel it in and everything. They trying to get their hygiene together. But really, are you doing this just for show? Are you doing this just for the initiation? Or are you doing this because this is a part of life that you're going to do? It's just like a fad diet. It's just like people be like, oh, I see everybody over there getting a little small. They did the paleo, they did this, they did that. I've been turned vegan. But as soon as they lose a little weight, next thing you know, you see them in the corner of the little shop by themselves, and they got everything on the menu, half the things on the menu, and they back bigger. And then not only that, they twice as big. So is this person studying to marry you just to get in, or are they studying you so that they can actually be down? Inquiring minds wants to know. Because don't get over here and to become a liability, because guess what? We're going to drop you back off to the universe where you used to be. Mm-hmm. That can happen. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because you'll feel as though we never knew you before, because we didn't know you, because you didn't know yourself when you came over here. And that's the problem. We had to return you to yourself, and you didn't even know who yourself was. So if you're a stranger to you, you got to be a stranger to me. Go with love. So the question isn't, did she ever love me? The question is, did you ever love you? Go with love. So Scorpio, somebody, sun, moon, rising. We got to figure this out. Sun, moon, rising, Scorpio. Trine sign, earth sign, air sign. This is it. But God bless the child that's got his own. But make sure God bless the child that's got his own plan as well. Okay. The God bless the child that's got his own personality. God bless the child that's got his own characteristics. God bless. All right. There you go. And that was Scorpio. Let's go on to Sagittarius. Notorious. A. Notorious. Okay, so we got a Sagittarius that feels as though they're notorious. Hopefully, hopefully, your record precedes you. Hopefully. Where did this come from? We ain't doing that. Okay, so what do we do? Okay, so I guess we got some upside downness going on here because I see it. Hold up. There was just a little bit. Okay, now I see it. I try not to bring out the cards upside down because it's very confusing. There you go. I didn't like that at all. If it turns upside down, that's by what it was supposed to be. I like my cards upright, okay? A lot of stuff upright. I like upright conversation as well. That's what's up. Okay, Sagittarius, this is what we're doing. Okay, so someone's obsessed, someone's like stuck, someone is like, yeesh. All right, 20, then we got the judgment, then we got the page of wands. Okay, so we got shadow, self-attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destructive behavior, materialism, codependency, toxicity. This is Sagittarius and Capricorn. Then we've got this Mercury. I swear this looks like a little vampire sitting on the side. So somebody's got a succubus energy. I really feel as though they suck up resources. They like to get around people because they suck up the resources. When I say resources, I mean like this is a person that feels like they got it. This is a person that feels like they cute, they got it, they got the looks, they got the aesthetic, they got the money, they got the connects and all this stuff. The thing about it is when they get in the room, they tend to sit there and they like to compare themselves to everybody. So they're like, if I go sit next to her, don't none of them guys going to talk to her because they're going to talk to me. And then they be upset when the guys don't really want to talk to them. This is the type of person that go into a room and because all of the smart girls there dress non-provocatively, they feel as though if they dress provocatively and go in and say a lot of big words that they'll take the attention away from the other girls who aren't dressed provocatively. And then they go in, and while they might get attention from some of the people who are there who weren't there to take things seriously anyway, they feel as though they get something and then they get surprised when the person that they lured away from the meeting wants ass and they don't want to hear shit they gotta say. Like, you went in there to take the attention off of the words, and then you're surprised when the person you took away from the words wants ass. Duh. So this is what this is like. This is a person that's hard locked in on trying to get their way out of environments that have nothing for them. This is a person that would go to a orchestra concert because she's seen somebody who she liked go in there and just stick out like a sore thumb because this person has no taste and no culture for the orchestra. What the fuck did you go there for? Like, yeah, this is a person that is very obsessed with injecting themselves into environments that they don't need to be in. And they're willing to toxicate the environment just so they could feel good in it. Like, they don't care if they make an ass of themselves. They just wanted to be there. They just wanted to be seen. That was their 15 minutes of fame. They don't care if it was good attention or bad attention. They've been getting all sorts of attention all their life. So now they're at a point where any attention is attention because they're flailing in life. The devices that they've used up until now have only worked in certain environments. And because they worked a little bit, they didn't feel like they failed. So they kept the same things going, not realizing that they were limiting themselves the older they got. So now, as this person gets older, they won't really be received in more mature audiences because of all the hoopla that they've kept up throughout the years. there are children that have grown past this person's potential. They've come up, they've grown up, and they've grown past this person's potential. And this person, because they've been able to be in certain environments because of pressure, peer pressure, or whatever devices they've used to be in these environments, they feel as though that their methods work, not even paying attention to the or reading the room that there are people who are younger than them that came up, grew up, and matured way past where they are. So there are people, sun, moon, rising, Sagittarius, Capricorn energy, succubus energy. Take what resonates, take what doesn't. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. There's somebody who's very, very hard spent to be in environments that they don't fit in. And they are getting judgment because people realize that they've been rubbing shoulders and they've been taking their own poison to the party. Somebody's been taking sand to the beach. Somebody's been taking some shit to the daggone party. I'm trying to tell you. It's as though, you know how people talk about roofies? They talk about how a person might put a roofie in the drink. Well, this person is actual human roofie. This person will toxify any environment. Their very presence changes the trajectory of the daggone evening and the night. Like, this person can go nowhere and change no result. This person will change it almost always to the negative. If it should ever be positive, it will be at their expense. This person is a walking liability. This is the liability that I was addressing earlier. Good gosh, even the person getting on my nerves and ain't physically here. Dang, is you that damn annoying that your energy just annoying too? Shit, get the hell out of my cards. I'm done. Yeesh. Sagittarius, Capricorn, succubus energy is somebody who drains energy. Like, you put them in the middle of the room and they're going to find somebody to fix on and talk about, or find something to compare themselves to. They're going to nitpick at something. They're going to find something. Ugh, get this energy out of here. It irritates me. It makes my ass itch. Judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning. Excuse me, mouth watering. Reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, mercy, that sort of thing. Inspiration, discovery, ideas, limited potential, free spirit, exploration, excitement, freedom. Yeah, this person just feels as though they can do anything because no one has actually shut them down yet. Oh, they're about to get it. It's coming. So don't cover your ears. Don't cover your eyes. But you might want to cover your mouth. Because it's going to happen. It's going to be made public too. Somebody is about to be publicly humiliated because they've gone around and they've humiliated people behind their back. They've done so much that it's going to be exposed and brought to the forefront. This person is very crafty about doing things, but they're not ready for the craft of return. Oh boy, oh boy. The numbers are 20 and 15, which makes that 35, which makes that an 8, and that is karma. Knock on wood. Woody Woodpecker. And he was a bit of an asshole too. I think Woody Woodpecker was a Sagittarius. All right, let's go Capricorn. Page of Swords. Teamwork, third parties, 18. So we got new ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communicating, restless, mental energy, teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, building something, the moon, illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious, premonitions. And we've got the 3 and the 18 are the only numbers out here. The Page of Swords is what I called first. And mucous membranes is clearing. Mental clarity? Mental clarity. Did anybody get any of that pretty juice that I made yesterday? Oh my God. The pretty juice. Of course, I got to shake it up because I kept all of the natural ingredients, all of the nutrients in there. But the pretty juice is here. But yeah, My pathway just got clear. It's like the mucus just cleared and everything. So somebody is definitely trying to throw energy work over here. They want me to shut the hell up, but I appreciate it because you knocked that little thing in the back of my throat out, and I was like, ugh. I thought I was going to have to blow it out of my nose, but great. Thank you. The pathways are cleared. The pathways are clear. Sometimes you got to use some of their negativity for your positivity, and I am glad of that. Thank you for the transmutation of that. God is so good to us. So, new energies, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communicating, restless, mental energy, teamwork, collaboration, learning, implementation, building something, illusion, mystery, dreams, intuition, fear, anxiety, subconscious premonitions. And this is in Capricorn. So someone is definitely starting to learn. They're doing their research. They're starting to realize that they have been under some type of spell. Somebody is realizing that they have been impressed upon. Someone has definitely put a spirit upon them. Somebody has definitely put their influence on them, and they felt heavy. They were wondering why a person can call them, a person that they have no love for, a person that they know has no real love for them, always calls them and is able to pull twos and fuse and things up out of them. It's because that person has left something or put something on you. They talk about you a lot. So that is spell work. So if somebody sits around the table and they discuss your business and your love life and your things with a bunch of people, that person has definitely put a bit of work on you. And this is why you feel a little bit heavy, Capricorn. You're starting to realize that the people that you have been working with have definitely been working on you. This is why you feel so much connection to them and they feel no connection to you. They don't care about your birthday as much as you care about theirs. They don't care about your milestones as much as you care about theirs. They don't ask about your kids as much as you ask about theirs. You want to know why? It's because they have put you in a one-sided relationship with them. They can extract from you and you can't get anything but pointless information from them that obviously makes you feel enamored to send them your money. So somebody is definitely becoming aware that they've been an asshole in their own life the whole time. The reason why they weren't able to save up and get anything is because they have a bunch of worthless friends that call them for twos, fews, views, and any damn thing they can think of whenever they want, and they give it to them, and not realizing that you're only faithful to them. They are not faithful to you. If you should die today or tomorrow, guess what? Nobody will have enough money to get to you unless you cash app them. Sorry, but this is the hard pill to swallow. This is in Capricorn. Go forward and let go of those liabilities. Sun, Moon, Rising, Capricorn, and Pisces. Become aware of the people around you. Some people are only friendly to you because you give to them, and they will never have enough for you. If they have enough, they borrowed it from you. Aquarius, let's go. I know that's a hard pill for somebody to swallow, and a lot of people didn't want me to tell you this, but they needed to know because they are more aware of your pay schedule than you are, yet they don't go the fuck to work. And when you retired, they felt as though you hit the jackpot because people that don't work don't know how money works. They feel as though when you retire, you get this big old lump sum of cash to sit up on, and they forget that you need to live off that money. And because you felt as though that you are arrogantly taking care of people who are less than you, you decided that you were going to keep giving them that money, not realizing that these people were trying to drain you and bring you back to them and be broke with them. And they almost got you had you not clicked on this message today. So now that you realize that you're in a one-sided relationship with a bunch of bums who are living off of you, and they would not hesitate to talk about you the minute that they got off the phone. As a matter of fact, when they tell you to hold on, it's to tell them, hold up, I'm trying to get a couple more dollars out of them before I click back over. Do you realize that you can't build an empire because you've been giving your bricks away? There's no reason for you to be living in an apartment and you're giving money to somebody who's renting a room. Order in the court. Order in the court. And just because a person rents a room and starts having extra money, that person really needs to situate themselves in life because you're renting a room. Yes, I know the budget gets scary, but you have to realize that the reason why you're renting a room is because there are choices that you didn't make in life that obviously put you in a point to the point of these restrictions. And pay attention. When a person rents a room, you have to understand this person can't go through a background check. And this person is obviously hiding from somebody who would actually go through the actual real avenues of pulling up a person's name. So be aware of who you got renting a room. Do a background check. I'm talking about criminal search. I'm talking about do that first. I'm talking about you need to know about a person's mental status. You do. You need to know about that too. You also need to know where the hell they coming from, and you need to know where they're going at every day because you could be harboring a fugitive or a aerial killer. You do not want that under your roof. How? How? I can't sleep if I think too much stuff is going on around my head at night. That ain't working. So be aware of these people who are renting rooms. That is the first red flag right there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. We got a 6 and a 2 and a 26. All right, we've got that. We've got the Scorpio, we've got the Aries, and we've got some Cancer. So we've got two water signs out here, which means that we're in a lot of passion. We're in a lot of strategy here. We're in a lot of emotions here. You know, the Cancer is the emotional gangster, and the Scorpio is the passionate gangster. They're both water. One's the desert crab, and the other one is just the crab. So let's figure out what the happy medium is in this Aries, because it seems like everybody's bold because the Aries is in between it. All right. So familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, innocence, joy, nostalgia, planning, progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, travel plans, meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, disconnected. So someone is definitely in their feelings, they're in their emotions, they're having memories. Someone is definitely going that back down memory lanes. They're replaying things, and they're staring off in the distance. So someone definitely has limerence and they feel a bit disconnected. This is going to continue all the way through the summertime for this particular sign. This is Aquarius and Scorpio, Cancer, Aries, 624. That is an interesting number. 624, 624. That is a 12, which is 3. So somebody definitely needs to fortify their relationship with their higher self. And if not, they don't call it their higher self, I would say God. Somebody needs to refortify and go in with oneself, because there's a lot lacking in that relationship. This person feels very disconnected from their heart and their soul. This person is in a never ending pursuance of stimulation, not realizing that wherever they go, they're not there. Their body is showing up, but they're not obviously there. They're not showing up in wholeness. This person is just an empty vessel at this point, and it would be wise to try to they really need to go in to get some kind of counseling. They need some type of support for the inside. And the weird part about this is when a person gets disconnected to this point, they really are very hard spent to not let anyone in, because their thing is to run around and pretend. So when you notice a person is pretending, pray about it. Pray about how to approach them. Pray about how to communicate with them, because they've already created so many barriers for themselves. This person probably feels hopeless. They probably feel like they have done so much that there is no return. But God is always a good God, and God will give you a chance. I'm trying to tell you, even if you've done the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst, a lot of times you do got to go in and you got to do your lessons, and you got to go in and carry and bear your own cross and everything, and be accountable for the things you do. But it makes no sense to live a life in misery for the rest of the duration. All right. So hopefully this person finds their way to some kind of counseling, some type of healing and restoration, because I get it. Some people have counted themselves out. They said that they can do no good, so they won't do no good. So they've become an empty vessel, and they just started doing things on repeat, not even knowing how to replenish and do themselves well. But we would do well not to entertain people like that, because they don't need comfort. That's the problem. Comfort is taking so much time in their life that they haven't addressed the real issues. So sometimes I will say, and it's not even about being tough love, some people need to learn how to go in and comfort themselves. They've used the world as comfort, and they've destroyed the world using the world as a comforter. Let that person who I'm talking about in particular, let them go comfort themselves. Do them no ill, but let them go comfort themselves because they've emptied out everybody else's coffers and they still have nothing to show for it. And I'm in Aquarius. I'm in Aquarius with Scorpio, Cancer, and Aries. These people have become so selfish and entitled that they empty people. They go about and they empty people's coffers. And I don't just mean money. I'm talking about emotions, time, patience, resources. They to have them come in the room is to make everybody scatter. Like they are like the thing that makes everybody scared, and everything good will leave from you once they come and approach. Now that's bad. That's bad. If you know somebody like that, have the conversation with them. Somebody has not told them how their presence is. Somebody has not addressed them. This the person that'll come to the cookout and they always end up real jacked up, drunk, and leaving with a plate, and nobody really wants to go home with them. Nobody wants to hold their hand. Nobody wants to make sure that they end up home safe. It's because they've been doing this for so long that they become miserable. And this is the person that would go out and hurt somebody else because they just feel so worthless. Somebody needs to have the honest conversation with that person. They need to tell them, don't go behind people's back because that make a person feel worse. Sit down and have a honest conversation. And I don't mean a conversation where you jabbing, 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 and you talking at a person. Have a real conversation. And when you feel as though you're getting to the point where your mouth is too sharp, stop the conversation and go on. Don't get yourself in trouble. But some people do need to have the hard talk. I told you, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Maybe somebody does need to listen to Lattimore. Some people need to be accountable for the things they do. Some people don't understand why they tents are always empty. Some people don't understand why their passenger seat will never be filled. Some people don't understand why they got to go to bed, why they need to go to bed by themselves. Because if they should ever be in proximity of somebody who's loved, they're going to destroy that. So they need to sit by themselves and realize that they are the reason why they in the situation that they in. Okay, and that's for me. That's it for me in Aquarius. Okay. Dang, that was heavy energy. Sun, Moon, Rising, Cancer, Scorpio, Aquarius. Cancer, Scorpio, Aquarius, Aries. There's also an Aries. Take what resonates, Sun, Moon, Rising. Oh boy, that was heavy energy. Somebody is really a taker, and they've been taking so long that they don't know. They don't know how to stop. Even when they give, they taking. They just don't know how to stop. Like they can't resist putting a hex on it. If they give you some money, they in the back of their head, they like, I hope you know this is I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get my money. You know what I'm saying? Like they never do anything without an attachment. Damn. Woo! Go on, dust my shoulders off. All right, so the world has come out, and we're in Pisces now, the Hermit, and now we've got the 6, 29, 21, 9, and 6. That's interesting. Okay, so we've got Jupiter, we've got Virgo, and we've got Scorpio. Okay, so we're scorching the earth with the fire sign. No, that's mud. That's mud. Somebody getting it out the mud. Somebody willing to get down and dirty. All right, let's go. So we've got the Pisces, completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, arriving. Okay, so 21, that's a 3. If that reduces to about 3. So that's community, optimism, joy. So why is this breaking down, and why did 21 come in? So someone had the world in their hand, or they had the world, or they have the world. Then we got the non-hermit. We got soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, consciousness. Okay, so far not that bad. And then we've got the 6, familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, innocence, joy, and nostalgia. Okay, so this is actually not a bad reading. This is a good reading for Scorpio. Not Scorpio. Why did I say Scorpio? This is a Pisces reading. Oh, it's because Scorpio is in it. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, Virgo, and Scorpio. So someone is definitely enjoying the fruits of the world. They're in the world, they're of the world. This is what it is. But they're soul searching. They're trying to figure out how to come out of it. And it's by the root. So 3, 9, that's 12 plus 6. That's 18, which is 9. So someone is definitely praying about it. Someone is trying to go with it, go in, just like I was saying about that other reading. Someone is definitely trying to go in and soul search. They're trying to figure out where they went wrong in the pursuance of the world. So in their pursuit, I guess you would say, after they jumped off their porch, they're really trying to figure out what they built here. And it's not that they built something bad, it's just that they're trying to figure out what was the purpose, what was the need, what when they started, they knew something, but now that they're here, did they get lost? So somebody got lost in their purpose. They know they wanted a lot. They know they wanted the dream. They wanted wish fulfillment. They wanted accomplishment. They wanted wholeness. They wanted all this fulfillment. But now they have the soul search because they remember how they were in their childhood innocence. So someone is trying to, they're soul searching. Someone is definitely doing a lot of soul searching. And I'm glad for them. There's not much to say in this instance when you know a person is definitely trying to go in and figure out what was their purpose. When they started it, a lot of us should do that. That is a good recon. You know, a lot of times we start things and we lose our way along the way. We come across shady characters. We come across people who want to help us, and we come across people who sabotage us. And sometimes we go down wrong paths. We shake the wrong hands. We drink the wrong drink, and we eat the wrong food. But somebody is getting back on track, and I am proud of that. That is good. Don't be no hater for somebody's progress. I am definitely with it. So kudos to whoever's decided to get themselves back in order. Somebody has found themselves out of order and they are putting themselves back in. Hooray! That's all right. I like that. That was Pisces Sun Moon Rising. That was Pisces Sun Moon Rising. We came with 20, 21, 9, 6. 21 plus 9 is 30 plus 6. That's 36. That makes it a 9. We were still going to the divine because the way I had added it up earlier was still going to be 18, which would have been a 9. Because look, 21, 9, and 6, right? The way that I had added it up earlier, it would have been 18 and it still would have turned into a 9. So look, when I turned this into a 3 and I added it to the 9, it was 12 plus 6 and it turned it into an 18, right? Which made it a 9. But when I went back and did it the long way, I added 21 plus 9, which made it 30, which made 36, right? So 3 plus 6 is still 9, right? So everything was still going to come back to the divine. All right. And that's how I explained how I added that up. Okay. I did it twice, 2 different ways, and it all came back to 9. Okay. Okay. So now we're in Aries. Hi. I love to see the hearts. Knight of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. Oh, shucks. And we got a 4, 6. So somebody's about to get some rest. They're about to get some beauty rest. Somebody's about to take some nice showers. Somebody's about to purge. Somebody's about to drink a lot of water. They're going to work out. Somebody's going to get their hair cut. Somebody's going to get their hair done. Somebody's going to keep their body right. Somebody's going to be consistent on this hygienic path because they're about to meet their lover. Somebody's about to make sure that they get enough sleep so they don't have bags under their eyes. Somebody is going to make sure that they don't have bloating. Somebody's going to make sure that their breath doesn't stink. Somebody's going to make sure that they're putting like Vaseline on their feet and shit and making sure that their knees and their elbows don't be ashy. Like somebody is definitely going to be taking care of themselves. Someone is doing the hard work, the productivity, routine, conservation, efficiency, and responsibility. Somebody is taking their dark side and they're cleaning it up. They know that they've got some rough spots. Some people, you know, they aren't as refined as we'd like them to be. Some people didn't come out refined and finished. Some people started off a little gritty, and it's okay, right? Because the finished job is what we need, right? And who doesn't like a little bit of friction every now and again? Let's be human, right? Let's not be fake and phony. So now we've got two with unified love, partnership, mutual attraction, proposal, marriage, connection. So there is somebody who's actually vibrating on your same frequency, collective. There is somebody who pursues perfection but knows perfection isn't coming, but they don't mind daydreaming. Okay, this person gets rest, this person loves themselves, this person knows how to go be by themselves, but they also could be there for you. This person likes to rest, they like to meditate, they like to read. This person could be in the same room with you and you guys can never speak, and that's the most intimate possibility that can happen sometimes. And sometimes they want to be lovey-dovey, but it's all depending on the unification that's in the room. So someone is definitely getting their things together and they're about to meet somebody who really, really, really digs them. They really, really like them. And like I keep saying, this is going to be a calm love, a restorative love. It's going to be one of those loves that make you know that you don't have to hear your heart beating out of your ears. You don't have to feel like you're almost about to spit up. Like your body's not going to react violently to this. um that's anxiety that you feel when you get butterflies and your body start acting all weird around a person. Not only is it your carnal nature being drug out of you, because yeah, that's like the demons like, ooh, look, something shiny new. Yeah, right. So this new love, this the way that this is going to come through, this is going to be so restorative. It's going to calm you down. It's going to make you speak lower. It's going to make your eye contact direct. It's going to make you breathe before you speak. It's going to make you think before you react. It's going to restore your pleasure principle. And it's a thing. This love is going to be like a slow afternoon. It's going to be like a walk in the park. It's going to be like making cookies Saturday morning with the kids. It's going to be fun. It's going to be silly. It's going to be goofy. It's going to be spontaneous. But what it won't be is that type of thrill seeking, like jumping off of a roof. It won't feel like every time they leave, your heart leaves with them. It'll feel like you need them to take longer so that you can be prepared when they come back. It'll be like that. It'll be like subtle preparation for a bigger picture. It won't feel like a race. It'll feel like something that you want to savor, something that you don't want to go too fast, because you want to take account of every movement, every look, every letter, every text, every call. You want to go to dinners and enter breakfast and know that you'll have enough time to eat. And sometimes your food will get cold because the conversations will be so much enthralling. That is the type of love that you want. And this is what's coming in. Aries season already passed by. So this tells me that there is an Aries or an Emperor energy that is definitely ready to take the reins of not only his heart, but someone else's. And that is beautiful. I have Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Libra. This is the Aries reading. We are in Taurus season. So the Emperor is doing what he can to condition himself. And the Empress is doing what she can to be in condition. Because it is a man who finds a wife and not the other way around. Okay, so that was quite the reading. Quite the reading. Quite the reading. And that was for Pisces. That was quite the reading. Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Libra, and Pisces. That was quite the reading. Restoration. So definitely get your conditioning on. Now we're in Aries. Now we're in Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. What's going on with you? One, two, three. Turn you over, see me. All right. So Aries, somebody's having financial loss. Someone probably just started having financial loss. 54, 6, 5, 546. This is what we got. 546. So financial loss, lack mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity, celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community. Oh, this just happened. This makes me feel like this just happened. Love, harmony, relationships, union, partnership, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, a choice, the strength of two together. So there was a lot of financial loss in a lot of these unions that just went by. There are a lot of people starting to realize that they did indeed invest in the wrong partner. And while they try to cover it up and try to patch things up and cover them up by way of going through childhood things, some of them went to counseling. Some really tried very, very hard to bring about love and to bring balance. And some really tried to restore things. Some of you guys went as far as requesting other people join your bed and things of that nature, trying to patch things up, not realizing that that was even further more investment into destroying your relationships. So there are a lot of people that found out, this is Aries, this is an Aries reading, that found out back in Aries season that they actually they've invested the wrong way going forward. And a lot of people are starting to take recon of their whole entire ship. The parentship, the relationship, the leadership, the membership. People are starting to go back and realize that they've joined different memberships, streaming companies. They've subscribed to certain things that they shouldn't have subscribed to, and that actually added to the downfall of things in their home, the downfall of their financial thing, the downfall of their mental thing. Some people are realizing why they ended up alcoholics and why they ended up weed heads. Some people are realizing why they ended up picking up the substance that they picked up anyway was because not only because they met a partner or their partner introduced it to them or their partner gave them so much heck, and instead of them leaving a relationship, they started to do escapism by staying in a relationship and gaining access to substances. So there's that going on. Someone is realizing right now in this Aries reading that the things that they've gone into that were supposed to be supported by love were actually the trick. Love tricked them into, turned them in, it tricked them out their spot. It wasn't love, actually. It was the love of things. It was the love of comfort, the love of company, the love of everything except oneself that put them in this situation. So what they thought was love actually put them in dire straits. So now they have to figure out how to love themselves and bring themselves back to themselves. So some people are trying or on a soul searching journey to find out where they went wrong and do they really love themselves, and how will they go forward and how will they apply it to themselves. 5 and 4 is 9. 9 plus 6 is, I'm so sorry, that goes right back to the Cancer when I say the 69 and 96, something like that. The 69 God, it's 69 God. Okay, so like I was saying, I don't know how I got off on that. That's 15, which is obsession. So somebody's definitely fixated on how they're going to either bring this love back together, because some people are not ready to let their toxic loves go. They have trauma bonded and they know no other function beyond that. If they're not in toxicity, they don't believe it's a relationship, and that is the wrong way. Some people have already figured out that they have gone about this whole thing the wrong way. They got to revamp everything. So like I said, this is 5 plus 4 plus 6, that leads to a 15, which is toxicity with its fixation, which is obsession. So somebody is obsessed with love. They are male centered or female centered, and they don't understand that this is their downfall. Any man or any woman can come along and knock them off of their path. And they have to know that they need to find some type of balance. Okay. So yeah, let's get out of there. That was Aries. Let's go over to Taurus, and then we're going to Gemini. Good morning for those who just came in. Congratulations, happy birthday, and condolences to you. All right, all right, all right. Happy Monday, happy Monday. It is 5:45. For those who need to know what time it is and they don't want to look away, it is 5:45 right now on a Monday. Did you have your coffee? Did you iron your pants? Did you drink some juice? Did you drink a little bit of water? Because you should have been drinking water before bed and as soon as you wake up. And as soon as you get out of the shower, because the shower for some reason is very dehydrating. Just to let you know that. All right, so let's keep it going. Let's go, Taurus. Let's go. I don't know why the wish fulfillment just fell straight out of my hands. Nope, that was the Nine of Pentacles and the Sun. Positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy, warmth, celebration, success, rebirth, all is well, which come true, contentment, satisfaction, emotional stability, luxury, and gratitude. And that's the 9 and the 19, which would bring us to 28, which would bring us to 10, wish fulfillment. I knew I saw wish fulfillment, but I picked up the 9 of Cups. But then after I finished reading all that, it took me to wish fulfillment. Isn't that great? God is so good. So in Taurus season, somebody is going to be getting wish fulfillment. They're going to be getting everything that they actually wish for. So we got the 2 and the 21 and the 1. So 2211. 2211, 2211, 2211. There's 22 and that's 1. That's interesting. 221 1. So that would make that 23, which would make that 24, which would make that 6, which would make that an equal give and take to the universe. So some people are going to the lab and some people are going to the ride in Taurus season. And this is wish fulfillment. So everybody's probably going to get, well, not everybody. Some people are going to get their wish. They're going to get separated from we're separating the wheat from the shaft from the wheat. So we're separating the wheat from the chaff now, and people are starting to realize who needs to go sit down and who needs to take a step up. And some people, they need to just be left alone and let them go on back to the regular programming, right? So people are starting to, it's the changing of the guard. People are starting to see who needs to be in leadership, who needs to go back into the population. Some people need to just go on and be set out socially. They need to go on and be counseled because they run around with matches and scissors like a toddler. They just ran around and just tried to hurt everybody because they could. So now somebody's kicked the damn thing down and now we're back out here and we're trying to live normal again. So shout out for some normalcy, okay? Shout out. I love that you guys are talking to each other in the chat. That is what the chat is supposed to be for. I'm happy that I can bring some people together, even if they're just coming together to get on my damn nerves. Hey, let's just say I'm a matchmaker. So multiple priorities, time management, adaptability, balance, and decisions. Then we've got this completion, accomplishments, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, arriving. Wonderful. I don't want to show the naked person too much. All right. She's got boobs. All right. So then we've got the Ace of Cups, love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. Congratulations on that new baby. I hope everything is going well. And keep all those negative people away from the baby. Don't let them talk to the baby. Don't let them kiss your stomach. Don't let them rub on your stomach. Don't let them do a goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, Wakanda. Every time you see them coming next to you, leave me alone. I'm building, I've got life on board. Leave me the hell alone, okay? So you tell them that. You tell them I said it to you. So 2 plus 21 is 23 plus 1 is 24. And 2 plus 4 is 6. And that's an equal give and take because we're going to be nice to each other as much as we can because we already know what a shitty person can do to your day, okay? This the boobs again. In this part. Love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, spirituality, intuition, new baby, proposal, marriage. So somebody's cup is definitely running over, and definitely only if it is running over can you share. And you don't always have to share when your cup is running over. Sometimes you need to use that for storage, all right? And don't tell everybody about your storage because people get jealous about any damn thing. It's so sad. All right, so let's go. And that was for Taurus. Sun, moon, and rising. Let me make sure I gave you all the stuff that goes with it. Sun, moon, rising, Jupiter, and Capricorn. That was all. So it's a lot of grounding, a lot of earthy. That's it. Gemini, how you doing, boobs? How you doing, boobs? Being the air trying that I am, let's do that 120 again. Let's do it again. Hey, do it, do it, do it. Let's do it again. Hey, you know Bill Cosby and that real fine dark-skinned brother, I forget what his name. He wasn't Richard Roundtree. They was on Let's Do It Again. Remember Let's Do It Again when they did that heist and they planned all that stuff and they had all them cops and all that stuff? Remember, Bill Cosby's name was Mother. I never met a man named Mother. Except God. Don't let that go over your head. Yeah. Bill Cosby did real right. Remember all the actors that was in Let's Do It Again. Do it. Also, it was a good soundtrack. But yeah, that was a good old movie. Gone Fishing. Yeah, somebody need to go on back so that they can come on forward. They missed a few things. They might have grown up in that time, but they didn't grow up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't grow up. They just got old. Yep. All right, so let's do Gemini. Ooh, the Empress pops right up. Then we've got Temperance, and then we've got the Knight of Wands. Ooh, somebody want to give it to you? Do I want it? So the 3 is the Empress, and it is saying nurturing, fertility, feminine, good parenting, development, accomplishment, growth, evolution, action. Well, thank you very much. And then we've got Temperance, balance, harmony, moderation, patience, being sensible, purpose, finding meaning. And that is the Sagittarius energy. And so we've got feminine Sagittarius energy with the Cancer and Leo rounding out at the end in Gemini. Of course. Big cat energy. Energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. You know, sometimes you've got to get off the script that people try to put you in, because how dare I make you comfortable and you were trying to rock me to sleep. So the 3 and the 14. Oh my God, I see pie. I see pie. Look. 314, the Empress in Temperance. Feminine Sag, meaning feminine rogue. I'm ready to shoot them arrows. I'll be out in them streets like, ooh, the archer. Talk about Cupid. All right, so the Knight of Wands out here, passionate, the energy, the passionate, inspired actions, adventure, fearless, impulsiveness. You see this? This is riding rogue. This is meaning that I'm off script and I don't give a darn, because I'm born free as the wind blows. Somebody don't like that. They say, put that girl in the cage. She's too wild around. I ain't going. You don't put no butterfly in no damn jar and think it's gonna keep fluttering for you. Change is evident, all right? And change needs space and oxygenation. Yes. In order to grow, you need oxygen. It matters much. So we have pie, and I'm a whole damn pie. I'm not a slice, all right? So let's keep going in Gemini the way we're going. And we're going forward. Sun, Moon, Rising, Gemini, Sagittarius, Cancer, and Leo. These are the elements. That means I'm a very passionate lover. But it also means that I am not by any means under anyone's control. You cannot put your foot on my neck, because control me would mean that you really need me to be free. You need me to leave and depart from you, because you're trying to kill the very thing that brought you over here in the first place. How dare you? So Gemini, go forward and be the beautiful, wonderful, wild, beastly you are, and let them continue to chase you with their butterfly nets. They're trying to catch you. Don't let them keep up.
So Gemini, continue to be Gemini. But remember, just because you can doesn't mean you should, because they're definitely trying to clip your wings. So don't get caught off guard. Go forward and be beautiful, but know that you are responsible for keeping yourself free. All right, there you go. Let's go, Cancer. We started off in Leo, so we're going to end off in Cancer. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for coming. I love spending time with you. It's so sweet. So, Cancer, my last but not least, never the least, because I try my best to practice what I preach. In this moment, no one is my enemy, for they are not that important to me. Yes, indeed. So we have 5, 8, 58. Then we have a 7, 5, 8, 7. 87, 58, 78, 87. 57. What? Or somebody born in 75. Take what resonates. So we have this 5 of Swords, which is Aquarius. It's conflict and disagreements and competition and defeat and win it at all costs and sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationship. So somebody's been very, very naughty. Okay, and this is in Cancer. So somebody has definitely ran around, starting a lot of stuff, running their mouth, going into conflict with people, telling little stories, white lies and big lies. They've been telling them in each and every size, all depending on what they needed at the time, not realizing that eventually people were going to get together and compare notes. So the 8 with the diligence, right? The karma is coming into this person because they've decided definitely to use people's pinnacles in order to support this lie. It's okay, Cancer. I'm coming around on you. Diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. So this person has done this repetitively over time, and they've done their due diligence to try to keep up with the lies. They even so far is try to keep files that are headed with the lies. This person is the type of person that will tell you that they don't really know how to use the phone. They will tell you that they don't know how to get this place. They don't tell you that they don't know this street. They will tell you that they don't know how to do this. They will tell you that they don't know how to do that. And they will weaponize the incompetence, because if they tell you that they don't know how to do things, they'll get you to do it. So they think that's one less thing that they had to remember. So they're very skilled in that. They've mastered acting just dumb enough to get people to do things so that they don't have to remember it. And this is a person that will try to act as though they don't remember your name, but honestly, they don't remember your name because they've called so many names in between the time that they've last said your name. So this person is definitely the kind of mastered being messy, all right? And they've used other people to be messy for so long that it's become like a whole personality. Like if they should ever lose their cast of friends, they will lose themselves because they need those friends to back them up, or else they'll never get in. So it's like this person is almost like a Trojan horse in the reverse. Like this person comes in and they have demands, but they have to get you to supply, and they know how to do it by lies, diligence, and mastery and a skill development. See, they've gone into a job field where things always have to be communicated, where there's a lot of communication and a lot of connection that has to be done. And they've done this because it is a perfect disguise. It is a perfect way to disguise phone calls. It is a perfect disguise to disguise communications that are unwarranted. It's perfect. They need to be left in your home. They need to be left around your things. They need to have access to your house, your keys. They need to have access to things. So this person is very diligent in the ways in which they've mastered with being sneaky and This trifling, right? So this person is almost like a gypsy, man or woman. It doesn't have to be a man, it can be a woman too. These people have mastered using other people's resources while making it seem as though these people were using their resources willingly. This person is also mastered using other people's resources so good that it appears as though that they're living a good life, when if they should get cut off by any few people at any given time, you will realize that this person has mastered using other people and never using themselves. The only thing that they might use of themselves is their mouth. They might babysit. They might even let you use their food stamps sometimes. This person gives just enough to get a lot out of you. And this is how this person has mastered that. This is a person that might do something out of the ordinary, like volunteer giving you some food. So now you feel as though this person is on your team, but after a while, you realize that the food that this person gives to you, not only is it lessening, it's not healthy, and you kind of feel sick sometimes when you eat it. Or this person likes to come around with the drinks. They never come around with the food. They never come around with the gas and electric, or they never have a house for you to hang in, but they always can bring all of the stuff to your house. It's because they have nowhere else to sit and do that shit at, okay? Some people have mastered using other people's resources. Some people stay out very, very, very late at night because they don't really know whose house or whose couch they're going to sleep in. So if they wait till the last minute and look as though they have nowhere to go, somebody around them might say, "Oh, come on with me." You understand? So you have to be really, really paying attention, because some people are so good at spreading themselves out so thin that you wouldn't realize that they have absolutely nothing. If they had no one to call on that phone, they would have absolutely nothing. Some people can't afford to not have nobody to call them on that phone. Some people can't afford to not have nobody to answer. And you want to know why? It's because they've been living off of other people's energy all their life. They've been energy harvesting to the point where their whole existence depends on someone picking up. And those people are starting to be identified. Those people are starting to be shaken from the group, because we're starting to realize why our bills are a little higher. We're starting to realize why our food is running out a lot faster, why our gas is running out. You know who you gave that ride to. You also know who came around you, made you have to wash your hair a lot because they kept smoking cigarettes around you. Because honestly, you felt as though they were smoking because they drink. No, they were smoking because they stressed out about who the house or who couch they're going to pass out on tonight. Now, some people are doing stuff in an extra destructive way, and they're hoping that your heart is open enough to help them get through another destructive moment. They just need to survive another 5 minutes. They're not worried about the next 5 days. And you would do well to pay attention who's living off you, because that person is parasitic. All right, so this has been Nyx with your Monday reading. Hopefully, I didn't talk too much of your head off, but this is what you're here for. Much love and love to you. Remember, don't come for me because someone's spinning you.